it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another Ways to Color Critters video for you guys. This is a series that I've been doing for quite some time where I choose one particular critter to highlight and then I test out different color combinations that I might like to use on future cards, and I create a little reference sheet for myself so that I can refer back to that whenever I want to color that particular critter. So I've got a whole bunch of these that I keep in a little photo album that I picked up at my local thrift store. So I'm just going to flip through quickly and show you guys each of the critters that I have colored so far in this series. Each of these has their own video and they are in my Ways to Color Critters playlist on my channel. So I have done a whole bunch of different types of critters in all different color palettes. The last one that I did was 8 Ways to Color Bears. So today we are going to be doing a new critter, and I'm sure it's going to come to no surprise to many of you. We're going to be coloring moles, and I'm going to be using the Lawn Fawn, A Mole Lot of Love stamp set. So I've stamped those out on alcohol marker friendly cardstock with Lawn Fawn jet black ink, and I'm going to be coloring with my Copic markers. The first mole that I'm going to do is going to be in a light gray. I'll be using the warm grays for him today. I'm using W00, W1, W3, and I quickly realized there wasn't going to be enough contrast for me in that combo, so I brought in the W5 as well. I'm laying in my shadows with that W5, sticking pretty close to the outside edges. I just want there to be some nice deep shadows, but not too thick. And then I'm going to bring in the next shade, the W3, and start to blend that out, making sure that I'm going right over the edge of that previous shade, that W5, so that I'm pulling that color out into the next one, so I eliminate any harsh lines. Then I'm going to move on to my W1 and fill in a little bit farther, and then I have a little area on the cheek and the belly to use that W00. I am going to do a second layer on him because I just wanted a little bit more contrast. I like high contrast in my coloring, so this is an optional step, but it makes a huge difference for me, and I almost always do a second layer. So I'm just going right over the areas that I've already done with the same exact shades, but it's just beefing up that saturation a bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and write these 4 shades down right underneath. So if you want to stamp and color some image along with me, you can use the same combos that I'm doing, or you can try out some new ones. Then I'm going to move on to the little snout and the feet, and I'll be using E000, E00, and E11 for that. And starting at the bottom edge with the darkest shade and blending toward the top with the lighter shades. I put my W5 away a little too early. I still need that to color in his nose. I'm just going to color in solid since it's such a small little area. And then I'll go ahead and jot those numbers down as well. And I'll move on to mole number 2. This time I'm going to go for a black mole, but I want it to be just a little bit cooler toned than the warm grays that I use. So I'm going to bring in the toner grays. I'm using T1, T3, T5, and T7, and you can see that that T7 is quite dark. It's nearly black. So I've laid my shadows in with that, and then I'm going to start blending those out with the T5, which is still quite dark, but that's what we're going for. We want a black mole. I just don't want to color him in with black shades because then you would lose all of his features, like his little eye and the definition of his hands across his belly. So using those really dark grays and then blending in some lighter shades helps him look black, but still gives you that dynamic coloring. So I've blended out the T5 with the T3, and now I'm going to come in with the T1 on the cheek and the belly, And just like with my first mole, I am going to go in with a second layer. But since the shadows are quite dark already, I'm going to be really sparing with that T7. Just add a few little touches of those in the little corners where I really want those shadows to be deep. And then I'm going to start blending out with the other 3 shades. Just repeating that same exact process and going right over where I placed the colors originally. This time I remembered to color in his nose before I put those shades away. I'm going to do that with the T7, and then I'll go ahead and jot down those colors right below, and then we will switch to some soft pink shades. I'm going to use R000, R00, and R11 for his snout and his little feet. If you actually Google pictures of moles, they are usually black or a super dark gray with a pink snout and feet. So this is a pretty authentic version of him, and so I wanted to make sure to include it on this color chart. So I'll go ahead and jot down those R shades, and then we'll move on to mole number 3. For this one, I wanted to do another black mole, but I wanted to go with a slightly cooler toned version. So I started with the warm grays and then moved on to the toner grays, which are still warm but cooler than the warm grays. And then moving even cooler, we get into the neutral grays, and then there's also the cool grays, which are the coolest toned of the 4 families. But I'm going to use N1, N3, N5, and N7 for this one. So at first it might look like I'm doing the same version, but you will be able to see a difference when I get to the end. And I think both versions are super cute. It really just depends on the card that you're making and maybe the colors that you want to incorporate into your palette, maybe the pattern paper that you're using or the cardstock, or even just which Copics you own. So I started with the N7, blended out with the N5, then I used the N3, and then I'm filling in the cheek and belly with the N1. And then I will do my second layer just like I did on the second mole with just a few hints of that N7 in the deepest, darkest creases, and then blending out with the other 3 shades. And I think you can kind of see these side by side now, how much different they are. It's subtle, but it's definitely not the same combo. So I like both versions. I am not sure that I could really even pick a favorite between the 2. I colored in his nose with the N7, and then I'll go ahead and jot those shades down before we move to his snout and feet. I am again going to do pinks, but I'm going to go with a slightly darker version. I'm going to use that R00 and R11 again, but this time I'm adding in the R20. So that is going to be the darkest shade, and then I'll blend out with the other 2. It's just a little bit more of a vibrant pink, which I think looks really nice as well. Again, it's really just personal preference. We're halfway done and moving on to mole number 4. And this time I'm going to go with some earth tones, but they have kind of like a grayish undertone. I call them grayish because they have a mix of a gray and beige in them. So I'm using W00 from the warm grays along with E70, E71, and E74. So the E74 is my darkest. I'm laying in my shadows with that, and then I'm blending that out with the E71. Then I'm going to come in with that E70 and pull that color out. I'm going to color in the little arms and pull that color in on his belly a bit more as well. And then I'll use that W00 to finish him off. I just really love this combination. I use this for a lot of different critters. I think it looks like something realistic from nature. I use it for mice. I use it for hedgehogs. I use it for all kinds of different things. Bunnies. Really just depends on, what I'm coloring and what kind of color palette I want to use, but I do like this combo quite a bit. So I'm just going to do my second layer, and while I do that, I just want to mention real quick, because I get this question every single time I do one of these ways to color critters videos, and I explain it in every video, but I still always get the question, will you sell these sheets? And I cannot do that because I do not own these images. They belong to Lawn Fawn. It's illegal for me to sell them. But you can stamp them out yourself on your own sheet and make your own reference guide, just like I've done. So I'm going to write down those numbers, and then we're going to move on to the face and the feet. I'm going to keep that W00 and add in W1 and W3. So we're going to go for kind of like a light gray to go with the grayish of the body. And again, I'm just placing the darkest at the bottom, blending up toward the top. And then for this one, I wanted to do something different for the nose, so I'm actually going to color it in pink. I'm going to use RV11 for that. So don't think you always have to go dark with the nose. It can be an opportunity to add a tiny little pop of color. For mole number 5, I'm going to go with a medium brown. I'm going to use E30, E31, E33, and E35, starting with the E35 for my darkest and laying in my shadows with that. This combo kind of makes him look a little bit like a groundhog to me, which I know is a very different critter and a very different sized animal. But in this kind of cartoony illustration style, I think you could make him look like a groundhog if you needed one for your card. So I am kind of doing that brown shade for that. I think that, you know, maybe moles don't come in brown, but they sure look cute in brown anyway. So I've blended out that E35 with the E33, and then brought in the E31 to fill a lot of him in, but I saved some room on that cheek and the belly for that E30, just like with all of the other guys. And then I'm going to come in and do my second layer on there. So I like to color my critters in this series exactly in the same way, placing my shadows in the same places so that you're really able to compare and contrast the different color combinations. That way, if you want to color a critter and there is a reference guide for it on my channel, you can just look that up and refer to it, or if you've created your own that you keep on your desk like I do, you can just refer to it and see which color combination is going to work best for the card that you're making, or which one maybe will challenge you to think outside the box and just do something a little bit different than what you usually reach for. So for this one, I'm going to use the E31 and E30 for the muzzle, just the two shades. And then I wanted to do the little feet and paws in a darker combination. I brought in E37 and E39 and used the E35 that I had already had out for the lightest, but it wasn't quite dark enough for me, so I am going to pull in the E59 as well, and I'll just add my shadows back in with that. I'm also going to color over the nose with that, and then I'll blend out with the E39 and the E37. And I like that much better. It just provided a bit more contrast, which, as you know, I love contrast in my coloring. It just really makes your critters come to life, I feel like. So we've made it to our last little guy. This is mole number 6, and I'm going to be using some kind of dull desaturated brown shades for these. Again, these are shades that do appear a lot in nature, so I do feel like it gives your critters a bit of a more realistic feel if that's what you're going for. There's no reason why you couldn't color them blue or pink if you wanted to, you know what I mean? But if you're going for a little bit more realism on your card, I think this is a good combination. That's E43, E44, E47, and E49. And again, that E49 is so dark brown and so desaturated that it almost gives off a black vibe until you start to blend it out with the lighter shades. I'm blending out that E49 with the E47 and then bringing in the E44 and then using that E43 on the cheek and the belly. And then just like with the other ones, I will go over this again with a second layer, just being super sparing with that E49 because it's already so dark, but just adding a little extra touch in those deepest, darkest places and then blending out with those other shades. Now you will see a little bit of streakiness on there. That is because my markers are so dry. I really need to do a marker refresh day and refill and clean my markers. But anyway, I'm using the E49 for his nose, and then I'm going to go ahead and jot those shades down before I move on to his muzzle and feet. And for those, I decided to go lighter, so I'm going to use E40, E41, and E42. So lots of different options, whether you go with like creamy shades or pink shades or grays or browns or whatever you want to do for these little hands and feet. I just wanted to give you lots of different options. So I'll write those colors down and then I'm going to add in some rosy cheeks like I do on all of my critters. This is again an extra step that you don't need to do, but I think it really brings your critters to life. So I'm using R000, R11, and R20 on the first little mole since he is a lighter gray and that combo is dark enough to stand out on him. But for the other two in the top row, I'm going to add in the R22. I'll blend that out with the R20 and then use the R11 to soften that into the fur tone. For the moles on the second row, I'm going to go with a cool toned pink just to show you a different version. For the first one, I'm going to use RV00, RV10, and RV11. The RV11 is what I had used on his nose, so that is a perfect match for that guy. And then for the other two, since they are a bit darker, I'm going to bring in the RV13. I'll blend out with the RV11 and then use the RV10 to help that fade into the fur tone. So there you have it, 6 ways to color moles. Let me know down in the comments which version was your favorite, or if you have a different combination that you love that I didn't use, leave that down in the comments as well so we can all learn and grow together in our coloring journeys. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment down below suggesting the critter that I should do next. I always love to hear your ideas. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell if you want to be alerted when I post new videos. The supplies I used are listed and linked in the description bar below in case you'd like to pick up anything for yourself. And if you'd like to keep watching, here are 2 extra videos I thought you would also enjoy. Thanks so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you soon in the next. Bye-bye.